A pleasure to talk to you both. I want to ask, when you first created Wallace and Gromit, did you think, like, in any world, the longevity of them being in your world this long, to be, I mean, seeing that those faces looking up at you countless
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's just incredible really to think what's become of them. And it's like your own family, your own kids growing up, and you feel when you see them on the cover of a magazine or doing well out there, you feel kind of proud. And that you're just glad that they sometimes phone home and yeah, no, it's brilliant. And no, I mean, when I think back to A Grand Day Out, which was my college project,
Hmm.
and I see that it's on every holiday in the UK, and I have to pinch myself still, and you know,
Now, I have to ask, in this world, you guys have so many different things out there with Wallace and Gromit too. At what point does the idea of a short say, no, this has to be a movie? Like, where is that tipping point between those two things?
Well, actually, this film did start as a half-hour idea,
yeah, we did, yeah.
back along, wasn't it?
It was way back on Curse of the Were, just after Curse of the Were Rabbit. It was Wallace inventing a smart gnome,
Hmm.
or we didn't use the word smart back then. It was a
Robot gnome, wasn't it?
robot gnome, automated gnome, and it was just the havoc that could, the comedy that could come out of that. And but as ever, we were kind of looking for we're missing the kind of sinister villain, the what's motivating, why the gnomes go wrong, and and Feathers McGraw was like the perfect solution. And funny, it wasn't obvious at first.
No.
Now it seems so obvious, but he was perfect.
Yeah, and that's when the film
Mhm.
needed to grow into a feature, and
Yeah.
so so I guess it's about the answer is about the idea. If the idea is strong enough and big enough, then a feature it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be an idea that grabs you. It can't be just a good idea, a nice idea. It's got to be compelling, really compelling, and with all this potential for it to open up and be a compelling story.
No, I also want to ask, of course, everyone loves all the voice work in here, but they also love when you guys create imagery and you just things coming from silence themselves. Feathers McGraw is your silence and your strength, but then again, you have Wallace who gives us, his thoughts and everything there too. So how do you find that balance of just letting us enjoy the image and being in the quiet moment or the score versus having some, exposition or Wallace kind of telling us some things?
Yeah, so it's always
It's
a
very
tricky
difficult,
balance
isn't
that as
it?
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're always battling with both of those elements.
and that's where the storyboard
Yeah,
process kind of comes into its own.
yeah,
So we play with those moments over and over again. Try different things. Try different music, no music, um, dialogue, no dialogue. All of those, and mainly because the animation process is so time consuming, we can't afford to do that when we're on the studio floor.
yeah.
But also because if you get them wrong, the film doesn't work. I mean, it really
It's
it
easy
is.
to overwrite scenes, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because once you get your shots in, your dailies, and you see them, the shots are often a lot more intriguing than they were
Mm.
in the writing or in the boards, and they carry it. And so we then realize in the edit, oh, we need to let this film breathe a little bit more and let the audience kind of take it in, let the characters just act,
Just be. Yeah.
sometimes in silence, as you say with the music. It's always been a balance of those two.
The other thing I wanted to ask too, the beauty I think of Wallace and Gromit too is, as much as it is cheery and fun, there's always a little bit of a darkness, whether it's a feathers, whether it's a were rabbit, whether it's whatever it is. There's always like a little bit of a darkness to it, which I feel is always something fun for kids. Kids, they want the safe and the happy, bright colors, but the little bit of darkness and the scariness is just a good balance to it all too. So what did you find, or what did you want to kind of impart heart into this movie, especially as you kind of go, because there's always the same thing, another balance of like how dark do we make something, how adult is this exact moment or comedic point too. So can you tell us a little bit about finding I guess the light and the darkness in Fowl?
It's sort of a question of tone, isn't it?
It is.
Of how, because if things are never that dark, they, you know,
Mildly scary, aren't they?
scary in a way that a lot of it came from stuff we love to be scared of as kids, you know, because I think kids do, as you suggest, they want to be scared of some things,
But in a safe way.
as long, and it also shows that you can be the light then has more value if there's been darkness that's been overcome.
And if it does get too dark, we chop it down with a joke or with a funny moment, so it never gets too heavy. We use that the comedy undercut to kind of maintain that balance and keep it, even if it's leaning into the darkness, to keep it light on the lighter side.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. Hope everyone in your world is happy and healthy. And just so you know, you guys, you definitely you live in my brain, because every time I go to my emergency brake, I always think about my rocket not going off until I get the emergency brake go off too. So
Yeah.
that's always in my mind somewhere. So I thank you much.